part of the reason they didn't take you seriously is because you were your own worst enemy.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the Judge Judy cases that got out of hand in record time. Number 10. Family Affair. Plaintiff Joshua Pritchard's foolish and vindictive protective order against his fiancé's brother-in-law is full of twists and turns. Molly Nolan was weeping before they barely even got started. Usually, it takes a few minutes of grilling for someone in Judge Judy's courtroom to give in to the pressure. But since this case involved her fiancé suing her relatives, we can't say we blame her.
Think before you answer the question, otherwise I bring Molly up, and Molly's not going to be happy if I bring her up.
Still, the judge expected calm and had Nolan collect herself long enough to give a statement. This set the stage for what was a very personal, dramatic, and ultimately ridiculous case. Number 9. Liar Liar, License on Fire. Plaintiff Chris Pasquarella prepared an elaborate little story about how defendant Daniel Martinez, his soon-to-be brother-in-law, stole his rental car, which led to the car being impounded. Judge Judy had trouble believing his story from the beginning. While he tried feebly to plug up any holes she was poking in his story, the moment she called his partner to take the stand and witnessed her lie, he folded like a cheap accordion.
That's not necessarily true.
The truth was, he asked the defendant to drive the rental car, despite him not having a valid driver's license. Judge Judy treated this case like a game of chicken, practically daring Pasquarella to lie to her. Number 8. My God, she's got a knife! Neighbors Jaja Azikiwe and Lydia Wilson got into a dispute over loud music that quickly turned physical.
I looked out the door and I said, oh my God, she's got a knife.
Did you come back with a knife? That's a yes or a no?
Yes, I did.
She would go on to explain that she did this because she was scared of him. Immediately, Judge Judy asks why, if she was scared of him, she went out to confront him at all. This would become a recurring question throughout the case, which, let us tell you, got off to a rollicking start and never let up. Number 7. A Crazy Request. Judge Judy immediately sussed out the lie that this defendant was telling. She told the judge under oath that she only asked her mother and stepfather to watch a friend's baby for a few hours. But this was a lie, because what she actually asked was insane and she knew it. The judge got her to admit she was asking them to step in and raise her friend's baby completely. The lies didn't stop there, but the judge's patience sure did. Being denied her ludicrous request led defendant Valencia Carroll to break their television and vandalize her stepfather's car.
What are you trying to do?
Number 6. Your fault. This case was won and lost in under a minute. The rest was really just a back and forth for our entertainment. Defendant Monica Lahai was accused of pouring bleach on her ex-boyfriend's clothes. Her story was that she only intentionally ruined one pair of pants, but that due to him trying to grab the bottle, she accidentally spilled it all over the rest.
Where do you think you are? You think you're on Springer?
The judge contended that either way, it was her fault. Lahai immediately launched back, but as we know, arguing with Shineland never goes well. Number 5. You're a fibber. It's a simple question. Where was defendant Ida Nunez living in May? Nunez had a few different answers. She lived with her friend. Actually, wait, she lived with her mother. Actually, wait, Your Honor. Whatever's best for her case is where she lived in May.
You're a fibber.
I'm a what?
Fibber.
Okay.
Liar.
It was obvious that the rest of the case was just going to be the judge burying her in her own lies. Number 4. Learn how to behave yourselves. A case from early in the series' run finds the plaintiff's witness sparring with the defendant over some unseemly allegations. Even the background of this case was so full of drama, the judge had to stop defendant Ruby Washington from getting in the weeds about who she was dating and how they all knew each other. Already, it had the makings of a soap opera. The insults and accusations flew, and only continued outside the courtroom. To think this all erupted over airline tickets is kind of amazing, considering they hardly got a chance to get into that part of the case at all.
You people have to learn how to behave yourselves in the court.
Number 3. Objection irrelevancy. The judge opened plaintiff Glenn Hazelton's case against his own mother with a series of questions. These questions were purely for information gathering purposes. Well, Hazelton didn't appreciate the information she was gathering. He asked what his previous arrests for assault had to do with the case at hand, but we think he knew exactly what the pertinence was. This case resolved around him being arrested for theft and assault, after all. Either way, it's obvious Judge Judy touched a nerve with her questions, and he got so heated, he actually told her to dismiss the case.
If you don't want to discuss this case, then we can just dismiss it.
Number 2, Fugazi officer. Usually, a police report is at the end of the story in Judge Judy's courtroom. In this case, it's only the beginning. Plaintiff Kylie Jones's heartbreaking story is one of the show's most tragic. According to Jones, her ex-roommate Octavia Canby poured boiling water on her while she slept. For some reason, Canby wasn't arrested.
You poured boiling water on her.
Jones insisted it was because the police officer who responded and wrote the police report was a fake. Her contention is one of the most confusing things ever heard in Judge Judy's courtroom. It soon came out that the cops didn't take her complaint seriously because she was simply under the influence, and they considered her an unreliable witness. Number 1. Tupperware Lady. When the judge asks a litigant's version of events, she doesn't necessarily require the most entertaining reenactment this side of unsolved mysteries. After all, they don't give out Emmys to court show litigants. Someone needs to tell Karina Roy. From the jump, Roy was determined to terrorize the courtroom with her theater kid antics. She wanted the judge to know every dramatic nuance of the situation. How else could Judge Judy understand the trauma, the stakes, and the tremendous emotional toll this Tupperware attack had on her?
The babies. The babies.